If you think about it, which aspects of the Sims franchise are still completely clean from monetization? I mean, one could once say that custom content and mods for PC are what keep the game alive and are also either free to download or downloadable for a tip or a subscription to something like Patreon. And that was about it. But the conversation around custom content for The Sims 4 has taken off since the arrival of The Sims 4 Marketplace, a quick way for EA to get their hands on something that existed out of their control. Even die-hard fans who have all Sims 4 packs and kits feel like the marketplace plus the digital currency to purchase on said marketplace, they feel it's too much. EA took it too far. It's blatantly there in our faces with crazy pricing and random numbers of items per creator's pack. But surprisingly, I know, today's story is not about the marketplace, not directly at least. A content creator decides to rebrand their platform and paywall what they had already created, the community reacts. And then things just get out of hand. But the reason why I found this story interesting is what we can take from it. A deeper conclusion on where the Sims franchise is, and a discussion on the ultimate 2026 question: should user-made custom content for The Sims be paywalled? Is it fair? So, honey, of course, I have a timeline for you. Not for us to focus on this single case, but, to give you some context on what happened. And shout out to the Drama House Discord server, because, my friends, you always come with the best tea. So join us today if you want to be part of our community. So, babe, here's what happened. Custom content creator known for making male Sims hair in The Sims 4. And we know how Sims 4 desperately needs some help in that department, honey. So we love that for The Sims 4 players. Yeah, for The Sims 4 player. We're genuinely sitting here and just waiting for Paralives to come out. So this creator has a Patreon, which includes a free tier and is also available on The Sims resources, which, as you may know, lets you download almost everything for free as long as you disable your ad blocker. On Patreon, the creator announces a new beginning. Goodbye Sims 4 wigs. Welcome new fantastic 3D premium quality assets. For this reason, Patreons have a month before all existing tiers, paying and free, will be replaced by some new levels and new amounts. As a consequence of this, The Sims 4 hairstyles will also be deleted once the new stuff is up. This means current patrons have 1 month to request 3 hairstyles via DM. Patrons who want to join now and get The Sims 4 hair before it's deleted from the face of the earth will need to pay $15 and request the hair via message. And personally, babe, this is the part that turns me off. It's just my opinion, not a solemn judgment, okay? And maybe it's just me, but I find this whole process just complicated in general. I mean, I would not be up for the whole DM me to receive the hair. But in all honesty, and that's me. And also, I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is the worst time to mention custom content and paywall in the same sentence. For once, baby, in our lives, it does feel like the majority of simmers are collectively hating on something. The marketplace. Look, I think everybody can do whatever they want with their Patreon tiers, and if a creator senses this is the type of move they need to make, this creator specifically spoke on the cost of life and wanting to make this their full-time job. Well, if this is the only route for you, then go for it. However, you know, the internet might have something to say. Reddit, out of all places, a platform literally built around people having to say something about something. So Redditors were talking about this because this decision from this specific creator doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's happening in the context of, you know what, we really hate to pay for something that was never intended to be monetized. Imagine telling people to pay $15 a month to pick 3 items of custom content that needs to be approved by DM. This is worse than delusional. Yikes, I don't think that's gonna work out how they're expecting it. There's a few websites dedicated in reposting paywalled custom content for free to everyone, but theirs is gonna end up there too. All I can think about is how this is such a slap in the face to their paying supporters. They were never required to pay you anything, but they did, and you turn around and make multiple posts about how they aren't giving you enough money. Yikes. I keep getting nonstop posts about whatever the hell is going on with the Sims 4 community, and honestly, I'm really glad I stopped playing about 2 years ago. How do you guys even play like this anymore? Custom content is now a nightmare. This market thing seems like an irritating little cash grab, and the last update broke the game from what I saw and forced people to update. Like, how are you guys even playing this still? It's true, some Redditors were saying things like, oh, I bet that the paywalled content will get re-uploaded very soon, and some others were just being sarcastic about the type of content that was gonna be paywalled. Well, anyways, after people talked about this on the Reddit, the creator went on a deep dive about themselves in all of these subreddits, and it didn't go very well, and they responded with several pages of text on Patreon to then announce that they decided to just retire for good, seemingly blaming the retirement on what was being said on Reddit, especially regarding the websites that host re-uploaded custom content. Yes, it was a lot, and it seemed like a really rushed decision if made simply because of whatever some users were saying on Reddit. But up until this point, this whole thing still had to come out from the subreddits or the creator's Patreon, because this whole drama exploded when several Sims related accounts started warning their own communities against this creator, alleging there was the risk of downloading files with malware. So what happened, baby? Well, after the announcement of the upcoming retirement, the creator made another post which included what I call a PP, a petty poll. Yeah. That's what it was, honey. The question of the poll was, why did you decide to join my Patreon? And the answers clearly show how this was just the tale that followed the previous posts that this creator had shared. The options on the poll were purely to enrich my Sims 4 experience, but also to distribute the custom content on shady websites, or to use it for a witch hunt on Reddit, to use someone else's work to get ad revenue on my blog. Honey, this is petty. Obviously, it's not like people who were taking screenshots and posting them on Reddit are gonna let you know through a poll. However, one of the options in this poll turned out to be the most problematic of them all. The option said, custom content is bait. I hijack info from leak sites to plant spyware and turn users into zombies for my profit. This option came with a clarification or additional information on it, I don't know. And this part with the explanation is still spelled in first person. So it says, honestly, I don't care about custom content. My goal is to plant spyware on the PCs of those who sold their souls for 150. So although this was meant as a continuation of the poll answer, if you read the whole text before reading the poll or without the context of the poll, you might get the impression that this clarification is the actual creator talking in first person about themselves planning malware. And of course, what do you know? People got screenshots of that part exactly when they started alerting their followers about the possibility of this creator's custom content to include malware in the files. Result of this, the creator deleted their Patreon. Their account on the Sims resource is basically empty, completely left the stage, for the time being at least. Now, I know this entire drama could easily make us stop at the first step, judgment. Who was wrong in this? Were the people on Reddit mean? Did the creator overreact? Yes, we can debate those questions. However, the juiciest part of them all remains, to me, the question that started this whole debacle. Should custom content be paywalled? Because that's the initial sparkle that ignited this entire thing. And in my opinion, this is an example destined to repeat itself. If you think about it, EA has officially opened the doors to these situations. The EA that not too long ago was frowning upon the idea that mods and custom content creators could make any money out of their creations is the same EA that is now monetizing these creators' content for a rich 70% cut on those sales, honey. Can you see how in the future, creators might match their rates with whatever is happening in the marketplace if they want to? A set of 10 items is on the marketplace for $5, then I'll price mine at the same value. I am not saying it's the right thing to do, I'm just saying that it is the predictable development in the world of custom content for The Sims 4. And this is a consequence of the hyper monetization that has taken over the Sims franchise for many years now. Again, if EA no longer has any problems with paywalling custom content, how long until that becomes the common rule for independent custom content creators too? At first, custom content in The Sims games was a tool given to players to create and share with the community. It was somehow intended as part of the game's features, so it belonged to people's experiences as players rather than as creators. But of course, the world of gaming has grown and evolved since the very first Sims game. Just look at the amount of content packs The Sims 4 has. It's the living example of monetization to the max. Personally, I love the fact that custom content creators can advertise their work on certain platforms, potentially earning from the users' downloads. I think it's fair that a creator gets the chance to receive a tip or set up a Patreon with early access to content or extra stuff. I don't know. But I do think that this specific creator made all the wrong moves. From the complicated new rules to download the hair to the petty poll. And yes, it is a drastic change to go from free access to your custom content to a $15 paywall. It's a bad business move, and if you claim that you want to treat this hobby you're passionate about as your career, you need to act like it is and think twice before you move, especially if those moves imply a financial gain. There should be a certain freedom to custom content in The Sims games, being user-generated and intentionally made to be shared with others for free. That's why when custom content creators for The Sims 4 take big leaps To lock a product that is usually free behind a paywall, players don't really vibe with that. And that's exactly why players aren't vibing with EA taking the same leaps to lock a product that is usually free behind a paywall. That's why, my dear friend, the morale of today's story is the same as usual. The best way to show your disapproval of any monetization scheme is voting with your wallet. Get that beautiful card of yours and put it back in your purse, baby. The category is I don't like it, I don't need it, I'm not buying it. You think that, I don't know, $15 is crazy for 3 The Sims 4 hairstyles? Don't spend it. Don't buy it. You think EA is just a collapsing tower that is taking our beloved The Sims franchise down with her? Don't give them 1 more cent. If every bad choice is a mere bad business decision, then the answer to that should be another business decision. The more they paywall, the more we will keep our money away from them. So join me, honey. Close your wallet and do what all the hot people are doing. Boycott EA.